All right, shalom, shalom. All right, here again, do a lesson, breakdown of Isaiah 14. And I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start with the scripture, Isaiah 14:1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
So the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai is going to take the Israelites and put them in their own land by his own hand. Okay? That's first and foremost. Go ahead.
And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Now, this strangers that is speaking about is not speaking about actual heathen. This is speaking about Israelite foreigners. Okay? So if you got a precept, you can bring that out, but also get Isaiah 56 and verse 6.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56 and 6.
That's the spirit.
All the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and hath taken hold of my covenant, even them will I...
And we know that the covenant is only given to the Israelites. Okay? The other nations cannot take hold of the covenants because it wasn't given to them.
That's right.
All right? So this is speaking about an Israelite stranger. There are certain laws for strangers that are Israelites in the scriptures, and there's certain laws dealing with heathens. Okay? Go ahead.
Real quick. The book of Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
Right. The other nations have not known the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai. Okay? Because in order for you to understand the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai, you would have to have the breath. And the breath was not given to any other nation. The breath was only given to the Israelites. When you read Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, matter of fact, get that real quick. All right, dealing straight to the point. Okay. That was speaking about the Israelites. That was speaking about the Israelites getting the breath within them, not any other nation. Go ahead.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, and verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and their skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
This is what we're doing. We're out here prophesying, and we're putting breath into the dead bones. Okay, that's a spiritual representation of the Israelites. They're spiritually dead. They don't know who they are. They don't know their power. Okay, they don't have the breath. You see, in the time of Adam, there was other men on the earth. Okay, but what made Adam different from those other men? The Most High breathed the breath of life into him. That's what made him different. So he understood the ways of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai. He understood the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai. He understood, the right thing. Okay? He understood the right way. That's what those other nations were missing. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
These bones are the whole house of Israel. No other nation can fit into that. Go ahead.
Back to Isaiah 56 and 7. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar, for mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
That's right. So ultimately, who are the people that are going to be entering the temple? The Israelites. Okay? And when it comes to the great multitude, that's speaking about those strangers. All right. Matter of fact, go ahead. No, continue back in Isaiah 14.
There's another precept in
go ahead.
Verse 8, Isaiah 56 and 8. The Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai, which gathereth the outcasts of Israel, saith, Yet will I gather others to him beside those that are gathered unto him.
That's right.
Back to Isaiah 14 and verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
They were going to possess the heathen. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Yep, we're going to rule over these heathens, these Edomites. All right, not just these Edomites, but these other nations, because all these nations had us in captivity at one point. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. We're going to take these heathen and we're going to execute judgment. Matter of fact, get real quick that's Psalms 149. All right,
this is the book of Psalms, chapter 149 and verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Right. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
That's it. We're going to put them in slavery, starting with these elites, okay, and the rest of the Edomites that still survive this coming destruction. They're going to be gathered up and they're going to be put right into slavery where they belong. All right? Go ahead.
To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints.
Khan. Get back to Isaiah 14.
Khan. Isaiah 14 and back to verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve.
Yep, that's it. Well, he's going to give us rest. All right? There's many scriptures that speak about us getting rest. Okay? Matter of fact, even what was that? Isaiah 30 and 10? Jeremiah 30 and 10, right?
Yeah, come. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest.
That's right. We're going to be in rest, because right now we're not in rest. We're this day in our captivity, like it says in Baruch. Okay? And in Micah, it tells us specifically that this is not our rest. You see? Why? How can you rest when you got flamers walking around, man? How can you rest when you got women managers over you? Women ruling over you in the society, man. All right? Police officers. How can you rest? You got Edomites, putting all type of things in your food, taxing you like crazy. You working and then you're expecting to get a certain paycheck, and then you find out they're taking out like 15% of your paycheck, and you're like, wow, man. And then they offer you insurance, which you don't want the insurance, but then they force it on you. So now you're paying insurance that you don't want on top of the taxes that, so that the business so they can get some extra money. This place is oppression. This place is wickedness, man. And let's say you become a celebrity and you're famous and you're rich. Well, then you'll have people following you in the bushes taking pictures of you, man. Well, you're just trying to enjoy life. You're just trying to relax. You got people following you, taking pictures. Every little mistake you do it's on the newspaper. Oh, he picked his nose in the restaurant. So you don't really have rest even as a celebrity and being a Jake in this society, man. This society is garbage, man. It's complete garbage. And you don't want to know what you're eating in your food. You don't want to know. You think you're going to these high-end restaurants. You think you're buying organic. You don't want to know what Esau is doing to the food behind the scenes. I'd rather not know until the kingdom, man. All right? Go ahead.
Real quick. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction.
That's right.
And this is Lamentations 5 and 8. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand.
That's right. Okay.
Back to Isaiah 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Right. And who's the king of Babylon? The Edomites. Okay, that's the king of Babylon. And we're going to take up a proverb against the king of Babylon, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Right. And how do you prove that Esau and Babylon is synonymous? You remember that? That's right. Jeremiah 49 and Jeremiah 50. That's how you prove that Babylon and Esau is synonymous, man. If I get that real quick. Yeah, Jeremiah 49 and then we'll do Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 49 and 12. Right.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse, start at 10.
Yeah, come on. What?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in thee. Verse 12, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunk it.
That was us. That was the Israelites. We drank of that cup of slavery, of oppression, of proverbs, of bywords. Go ahead.
And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
You're going to drink of that cup, boy. You will drink of that cup. Go ahead.
For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse.
That's good, but that's actually not what I wanted. Salakia. Jeremiah 49 around the 20th verse, maybe? 49, 15, maybe? Let me see. Where you at there? See what 15 says. Can I see this? Let me see this for a second. Huh? You can speak, bro.
Come on. Right, so you know, we're currently under the oppression of these Edomites, which are spiritually called Babylonians. Okay, right. Spiritually called Sodomites and Egypt. All right, because all they have taken on the customs of these previous kingdoms. That's why this is called the melting pot, man. And Babylon is called in the Hebrew is Babel, okay, meaning confusion, okay, because everybody's confused under the authority, under the rulership of these Edomites, okay.
This is it right here.
Yep. 20.
It's 20. So the highlighters confuse me a bit. No, it's good, man. You're studying, brother.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman.
Right. His purpose that he purposed against Edom. He has taken the counsel taken against Edom, and his purpose against Teman, which is what? A city of Edom, or a tribe of Edom. All right. Really goes back to those Germans. Go ahead.
It says, and his purpose that he has purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Right, the least of the flock is who? Amalek is going to draw them out.
Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
Right, he's going to draw them out to what? To war. World War III. Amalek is going to make them, is going to force them to go to war. And that's what they're doing now. All right? They keep poking at these different nations in the Middle East, causing trouble. And these and guess who's gonna have to back them? The big brother Babylon, man. You see? So at the end of the day, we know exactly how the prophecy is going to play out, man. We know basically what we need to know about the prophecy, man. We're just looking for certain things to be in place for these things to happen, man. Because there's only a couple prophecies left, man. The main two prophecies, the MOTB, all right? Read Revelations 13, and then you got the destruction based upon World War III, man. Okay? Go ahead and get Jeremiah 50 and verse 45.
Come on. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon,
right,
and his purpose that he hath purposed against the land of
now
the
it's
Chaldeans.
not. Now he's saying the counsels against Babylon. The same thing he said about Edom in Jeremiah 49. He's saying the counsels against Babylon now. And who? And what?
And the purpose that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans.
The Chaldeans. Babylon and the Chaldeans, man. Because what is Babylon into? Heavy witchcraft, man. Look at Washington, D.C., man. All right? That's shaped like an owl. When you look at it from the above, it's shaped like you got an owl, and you got all kind of different symbols. Go ahead.
Right. If I may add, also said the Chaldeans were the wicked elites of the Babylonians.
Right.
It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Right.
And they're still going back to Babylon and Amalek. Right. All right. But who is Babylon synonymous with? The Edomites. All right. Point blank, period. Go ahead. Yes, back on Isaiah 14.
Back to Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth.
This Edomite, okay, he's going to be persecuted and none hindereth. Okay, he's been ruling with great anger. Look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Look at what he did with Gad. Look at what he did with the Hawaiians. It's all murder and great atrocities, man. It's never through peace. It's always through great violence. Go ahead.
The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
The whole earth is going to be at rest once you Edomites is taken out of the way. This is the thing. This is what you don't like. Esau likes to think that if he stops ruling, the world is going to end. It's going to be the end of civilization. No. It's going to be the beginning of a righteous civilization. The earth is going to be able to flourish. Not based upon, there's too much animals, there's too much CO2. No, you know what there's too much of? There's too much Edomites. There's too much Edomite rulership. You Edomites are supposed to be in subjection. The same way these women are supposed to be in subjection. You Edomites are supposed to be in subjection. I always compare Esau with the woman because Esau is completely wicked without being under subjection. Same thing with the woman in general. All right? That's just the truth. We don't care how you feel about it. If you don't like it, then that's okay. You don't have to watch us, man. Go watch something else. Because at the end of the day, the prophecies are going to come to pass, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth.
Which is destroy them, which destroy the earth, which is you Edomites. You are in charge of the earth. You're the reason why there's all kind of oil spills, all kind of whales beaching themselves. The trees are dying because of you. And you like to blame, point the finger at everyone else, but you're the reason. You're the problem. Okay? Go ahead.
Back to Isaiah 14 and verse 6. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Right, no one has come to cut them down. All right, go ahead.
Verse 9, hell from beneath.
Which a fella is a lumberjack. All right? So no one has come to cut them down. No one has come to disturb them, man. Since these Edomites have been taken out of the way. That's what the trees are going to be saying. Don't you know the trees communicate with each other? Don't you know that? Through the fungus and the roots. And they actually war against each other too. All right? In certain instances. But most of the time they're helping each other. Sharing resources. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 9, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet the thy coming.
So like when I say resources, I mean nutrients. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 9, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet the thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth.
Right. Hell has come to meet thee at thy coming, which means you Edomites are going to go into hell, man. And we don't mean the place with Hellboy and a pitchfork. We're not talking about that place. That's mythology. Okay, we mean that you're going to be in a very low state. You Edomites are going to be the lowest of the low. Cockroaches are going to have more rights than Edomites. We're going to treat cockroaches good in the kingdom. Cockroaches, even pigs. Pigs are going to be able to do what they're supposed to be doing. Nobody's going to be eating pigs in the kingdom. And if we catch somebody eating pigs in the kingdom, well, there's going to be a judgment for that. Pigs are not to be eaten. All right? So they're going to have more rights than you Edomites, man. Because we're going to put you Edomites in a it says that we're going to put you in prison and visit you after many days. It doesn't say nothing. It doesn't say we're going to bring them milk and cookies. It doesn't say we're going to bring them milk and cookies. We will feed you when we feel like feeding you. If we feel like feeding you. Or maybe you'll just go on one of them fasts that Yahushua did, man. A 40-day fast, man. Okay? This is the reality for you Edomites, man. So if you Edomites are watching this, just know your future is very, very dark. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 9, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Mm-hmm. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth.
Right. Speaking of those other nations. Okay, well, it's going to say it. Salakia, go ahead.
It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Right. All right. Go ahead.
All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Mm-hmm. Get that precept. Get that precept with the dead. When it speaks about the dead. Right? Revelation.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 5. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
Right. The rest of the dead. Speaking about what? Them other nations. All right? Because they're going to be able to live. They're going to be able to flourish under a righteous rulership, man. What does Proverbs 29:2 say? It says when the righteous are in authority, you don't have to get it. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of rejoicing. Go ahead.
This is the first resurrection.
Right.
Back to 14 and verse 10. Isaiah 14 and 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven?
Which represent what? You being in a low state. Okay? Yeah, decaying. All right? You're in a low state. You're in a state of hell. Because in the grave, what happens? The worms devour you. All right? Which that didn't happen to Yahushua, by the way. Okay, the worms didn't devour Yahushua because they only start devouring you after what? After the fourth day. That's why Yahushua was in there for the third day. Listen, the Most High is his mind is on a higher level than all of our minds put together. Okay, we can't think on the level of that the Most High thinks on. All right, he's far out, so he knows exactly what to do and what to put at what time, and and it's all down to a science. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah.
Go ahead.
47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Right. Daughter, which is the Edomites. There's not going to be no throne. You're going to have to sit on the ground. You're going to be ashamed. Go ahead.
Back to the book of Isaiah, chapter 16 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Right.
How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Yeah.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
That's right. That's right. All right. So in other words, he's going to be ruling. Read that again.
Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
What does the word Lucifer mean? It means light bearer. This is speaking about the elites. All right, the elites of these Edomites. And this is really just like you making fun of somebody. Oh, great king, why don't you get up from the ground? Like how they were mocking Yahushua, we're going to be mocking those elites.
That's right.
Go ahead.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations?
Right, because Esau weakened the nations, man, greatly. Economically, based upon their not allowed to build any, or they're making a nuclear weapons program. Stop that, you know? Yeah. So Esau's been weakening the nations, man. Especially economically, because in order to war, you need what? You need money. You need a lot of money. All right? America's putting trillions and trillions of dollars into war. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
He exalted himself above the Israelites. He's ruling them on the sides of the north. And also, so like it says, he made his throne above the stars. He went up into outer space, man. Okay? And he's still going up into outer space. Since what, 1969? You see? On the sides, and him ruling the congregation, that means him ruling the Israelites, man. All right? And the sides of the north meaning what? North America. All right? Specifically Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yeah, keep going.
Yea, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Because they actually think they're going to be like the Most High. They're trying to have this, they're trying to have complete control and eventually give you that MOTB and put that in the right hand or your forehead and have complete control over your finances, what you can and can't buy, what you can and can't do, how much carbon you use. Mm-hmm. You tax you for breathing, tax you for, you turn on the, I don't know, anything you do, man. Okay? You open your door, oh, they'll charge you for that. You know?
Yeah. Park your car.
Yeah, you park your car, charge you for that. You know? You take out you put in a movie, oh, we gotta charge you for that because you're using extra energy to watch the movie. This is where Esau wants to go with it. He wants to be like the Most High, but the Most High said what? He said he's gonna put he's gonna put an end to their enterprise, man. Oh, he's about to fill his belly. Go ahead.
I got that for you. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Mm-hmm. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
That's right. All right. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14 and verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
And that's how you know Lucifer is not speaking about the spiritual demon. Saying, says, is this the man? Mm-hmm. Is this the man that maketh the earth to tremble? It's not Satan. Satan is not coming down as a man. This is speaking about an actual man. Go ahead.
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
And not one man, a people. Okay? Go ahead.
That did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners.
Yeah. America got the most prisoners by far than any other nation, man. 22% of the world's prisoners are in America, and it only has 4.4% of the population. That's tyranny, man. That's wickedness. That's evil. Go ahead.
Verse 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house.
That's right.
But thou art cast out, out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain.
Right. It said all the kings are gonna be lying in glory. They're gonna be chilling. All these other nations, they're gonna be chilling. But you Edomites. Let's read it again.
It says, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch.
You're gonna be put aside, man. You Edomites are gonna be Obadiah 1:18. That's it. Go read Obadiah 1:18, and that's the future of you Edomites, because we don't need you no more. Go ahead. You don't have to read it. Go ahead.
And as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
You're not gonna be renowned. It says that the chill shall no more be called
I'll get that for you.
You know what I'm talking about, man. I see. I'm getting a brain freeze right now. The wicked man shall no more be called liberal.
Yeah,
roughly paraphrase.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal,
the vile person,
nor the churl said to be bountiful.
Right, because Esau has painted himself as this hero.
Yeah.
And other people around the world, they used to look at Esau as a hero. Even they still do. Okay? Because he's all up in the movie. And he's always the savior. When you watch these movies with these Edomite stars, it's like they're dodging all the bullets.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, everyone's getting hit, but not them. They're dodging all the bullets. They're doing ducking this, ducking that, and they're so benevolent. But in real life, they're low lives. Okay, those same guys playing that acting role, they're pedophiles. All right. So all that image that you painted is about to be erased. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Do you hear that, Esau? The Most High said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of his fathers, man. Looking at your history, you know you're in trouble, man. Okay, you know you're in big trouble.
Real quick, this is the book of Job 27:14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall be not satisfied with bread.
Right? Okay, even cast the little ones against the stones, man. Dash the little ones against the stones. You Edomites don't like that. Vocab, he cringes when he hears that. Oh, you hear that? They want to kill babies. We're reading what the Bible says, man. We're not saying it. All we're doing is reading the Bible, man.
That's right.
Either you believe in it or you don't. But for what if some did not believe? Romans 3:3. Go ahead.
For I will raise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will weep it with the besom of destruction, said the Lord of hosts.
That's it, man. You're going to be destroyed, man. That nuclear fire is going to destroy Babylon, which is going to be the end of you Edomites rulership, because that's like the mother computer that controls all the rest of the computers. Once you hit Babylon, everything else dies.
Right.
Go ahead.
The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have taught, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him up underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders.
Yeah. See, so the Israelite, that burden is gonna depart from off the Israelite shoulders. Okay? Being under captivity under you devils, that's gonna depart, man. That's gonna be over. Go ahead.
This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts has purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden.
Right, because you had that, see, because you have to understand the scriptures jumps from time period to time period. All right, you had a similar situation going on back then. All right, you had Israel getting judged back then. You had the other nations getting judged back then. right? Because the Most High was setting up what? Babylon to come in. Go ahead.
Rejoice not thou, O Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent.
And the scriptures is saying, don't rejoice, oh you Philistines, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get it too. Matter of fact, get Jeremiah 1:14 real quick.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 14, and it reads, Then the Lord said unto thee, out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdoms of the north, said the Lord, and they shall come, and they shall set everyone his throne at the entering of the gates of Jerusalem, and against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Judah.
That's right. The family that speaking about the Babylonians, man. They're about to come and besiege Jerusalem, man. But not just Jerusalem, all the rest of those nations that were round about. So you Philistines, you're through. You were through at that time too. All right. You see? So that, like I said, the scriptures jump from time period to time period. And that's why Esau can't get this book, because it's not just sticking on one. Oh, this is speaking about 13 BC to 1340 BC, and that's it. No, it jumps from this time and it goes there, and it gets a little bit from there, goes to the beginning, goes to the end. That's how the scriptures is, man. Sometimes you got to read it 5 times to really get it in your mind, man. Go ahead. You can get Jeremiah 25:9 as well.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse 9. And it reads, Behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, said the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them and make them an astonishment and an hissing and perpetual desolation.
That's it. And that's what happened. All right. Babylon came, and yeah, it might have took out the Philistines' enemies, but it took the Philistines out too. You see? You understand? So ultimately, that's why the Most High said, don't rejoice in that. But keep going. Isaiah 14.
Back to Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 30. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety, and I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestina, are dissolved, for there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times.
That's that smoke. All right, go ahead.
What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation, that the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it? That
was the end. That was the end, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So that was the breakdown there. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Hopefully that was edifying. Listen, it's all business, man. All right, it's all business. We gotta go through these things, and to edify the sheep of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So with that, what I'm saying, we'll say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem B'Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.